Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from the Right Way, and got a story from New Zealand. If you're not in New Zealand, we've got a new leader of the opposition party, the National Party, which is the centre-right party in New Zealand, going up against the left-wing parties that currently have power. And we've just gone through a new leadership challenge, and a new leader has been appointed by the National Party called Chris Luxon. And already the mainstream media are peddling out their political hit pieces on the new national leader because they are just a mouthpiece for the left-wing propaganda. So before we start this video, let's have a look at the article. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. And if you like my content, then please subscribe as well. So this article is from Charlie Mitchell and Laura Walters. They should be ashamed of themselves for writing this particular hit piece on the national leader. There's so many other things to talk about, like the ineptitude of this current Labour government, but all they can go on about is how many houses this guy actually has. So if you see these people's names associated with any articles, just disregard them because it's what they are. They're political hacks who are basically doing hit jobs for the government, or if not the government, for their own biased left-wing views about things. So let's have a look at what they say. So soaring house prices mean new National Party leader Christopher Luxon is effectively earning about $90,000 a week in capital gains on his 7 properties, which give him the biggest property portfolio of any sitting MP. Just so that you know, Luxon used to be the CEO of Air New Zealand, which he was on about a $4 million salary per year. Before that, he was leading other businesses as well. So he's not a poor person, right? So if he's a wealthy person, of course he's going to invest in property, because in New Zealand, that's the safest and best way to invest things currently. He's probably got other investments as well in shares and things like that. But who gives a shit how many properties he owns? It's not like he's hoarding these properties and not letting anyone stay in them. He's probably renting these properties out. You left-wing hacks, Charlie Mitchell and Laura Walters. Do you think he's just got these 7 properties and they're doing nothing with them? There's no one living at them. Probably they're being rented out, aren't they? Right? So that way he's providing housing for some people. Can you get it through your thick heads? While the opposition has hounded the government for allowing the housing crisis to worsen, National New Leader is benefiting more than most from soaring house prices, which is shaping up to be the defining economic and social issue for a whole generation. So what has the Labour Party done? Why don't you write an article about how poorly the Labour Party has done things, because house prices have increased at the fastest rate ever under the Labour Party government's watch. They've been in power for about 4 years now. Luxon's properties: a family home in Remuera, a Waiheke Island batch, an apartment in Wellington, the electoral office, and 3 investment properties in Onehunga. So not all of them are for investment purposes. He's got his home, he has a batch, many people have a batch, and he has an apartment in Wellington because probably he actually goes to Wellington quite often because now he is in politics. So that means he doesn't have to stay in hotels, which would be a burden on the taxpayer. I have no idea if he gets money for his apartment in Wellington or not. Let's assume that he doesn't. And his electoral office, which he owns, right? So maybe he might get some money for that from the government, but then everyone probably would anyway. And he's only got 3 investment properties in Onehunga, which is providing housing to some people. These people, this is just a political hit job. I hate this kind of journalism because most of the sheeple in New Zealand just read it and think, oh, he's a rich prick. And so, what does he know about what it's like to live as a poor person, all that kind of stuff. It's just ridiculous how these people do this kind of hit job. Hickey noted that Luxon had theoretically earned even more this year from housing than the 4.2 million he earned in his last year. No, he hasn't earned it because it's not realized value. It's just gone up as a capital gain. It's not realized. It only gets realized when he sells it. What happens if there's a crash in property and he sells it for lower than what he would have got? He would have made not as much money. So again, being disingenuous with the facts here from Bernard Hickey, who's well-known left-wing economist, as well as these left-wing ideologue journalists. I don't know if we can call them journalists, writing this kind of hit piece. High levels of property ownership are typical in Parliament, with 113 MPs owning property, a rate far higher than the public. At least 69 MPs own more than one property, but with 7 properties, Luxon owns more real estate. Again, only 3 of those are for investment, right? Get it through your thick heads. It's absolutely disgusting that they're putting out this kind of hit piece on the National Party. I'm not going to carry on with the rest of this article. It's just a load of rubbish. Basically trotting out, they're trying to make out that as a rich prick because they're scared, basically, right? I reckon they're really scared of this guy, because after Julian Collins, he's going to bring a breath of fresh air to the National Party, and he's going to seem quite like John Key, I believe, from what I've seen of his interactions so far. He seems quite likeable, and I think they're running scared, the left wing. So that's why they have to resort to these kind of hit jobs. Let me know what you think. Do you have a problem with someone owning 7 properties and providing housing for people? Of course, he's a rich guy, right? He's going to own property. That's what rich people do. That's how they keep being rich, I guess, right? They invest properly. They don't waste their money. So I'd really love to hear your comments or read your comments. Let me know in the comment section. Again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. And if you like my content, please subscribe as well. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next video.